bed when silly thoughts go through my head about the bugs and alphabet. And when I wake tomorrow, I'll bet that you and I will walk together again. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
I've been thinking for the past couple of days about friendships in the XJW world and even before when we were witnesses, and how the dynamics of that can be a little strange. So I thought I would just discuss what my thoughts are. Growing up a witness kid, I couldn't do anything with anyone who was considered worldly, any non-Jehovah's Witness kid. There were some in the congregation that were a little more lax. Some friends of mine were able to play with neighbor kids and stuff like that. My parents weren't like that at all. They were very by the book at all times. So I was only allowed to hang out with kids from the Kingdom Hall, and that can lead to some kind of weird social experiences. My whole life I felt like I was constantly wanting to be accepted by people I went to school with and wanting to be liked by them, but I also didn't want to get too close to them, close enough that they would start inviting me to do stuff, and I would have to come up with some reason that I couldn't go. I'd either have to, sometimes I would just lie if I would be too afraid to say anything, or, try to find some way to explain to them why I couldn't go, which, when you're a kid, how do you really say to another kid, well, you're worldly, I am following the true God and you're not, so I basically can't have anything to do with you. That is a really strange thing for a kid to have to say to another kid. I remember feeling like just total crap getting invited to stuff and just making up excuses why I couldn't go, acting like I didn't want to go when my friends were talking about a party or to prom or whatever. I would just act like I thought it was stupid, even though secretly I did want to go. There was one time this guy that I liked at school that I had a crush on asked me out. And I just pretended like I didn't like him because I didn't know what else to do. There's no way that I was going to be able to see him outside of school. So that was really, I don't know, the only thing I could think of to do. Then, on the other hand, you are expected to be friends with people from the hall. It didn't matter what their personality was, what they like to do, their hobbies, if any. I mean, you can't really have hobbies when you're a witness. Like, your life needs to be the religion. But, it really wasn't about their personality. You just, you had to, those are your brothers and sisters. That's who you had to like and who you had to hang out with. They had to be in good standing, though, because witnesses are constantly evaluating the spiritual status of each other and adjusting their social experiences accordingly. So this is kind of a weird dynamic then, trying to avoid most of the people that I see on a regular basis, and then also trying to like everyone that you're told to like. And then once you are out and you're in the real world, it gets even weirder because you don't have any witness friends anymore, and you need to make all new friendships with this group of people that you spent your whole life avoiding. Luckily, I did have one friend that I went to high school with, and then we worked at the same job together. So I started doing stuff with her, asking her, to go shopping or do whatever social things here and there. Before I was just fellowshipped, when I was sort of starting to question my faith. So that helped that I had some friends then by the time that I was disfellowshipped. And, that's an important thing as an ex-witness. You are probably going to have to make a move to be friends with these people. You can't just wait for the world to come banging down your door and ask for friendship. You're probably going to have to be making some efforts. Facebook is nice too. There's some people from school that normally I would have just lost touch with that I've been able to connect with through Facebook, so that's cool. You can kind of try to get a little closer to them. Another thing that I do is I try to make an active attempt to fight against that us versus them mentality that has been so ingrained in us as witnesses. Also the judgmental mentality. I think that's something all ex-witnesses need to kind of struggle to fight against too. I know there were times that I was invited to a party, either people I worked with, or like for a while I joined a community garden and they would do some social things, and it's like my first reaction was I need to make an excuse not to go to this. Or maybe, the person that is hosting it is kind of weird. I don't know if I'll like them. I should just, try to avoid the situation somehow. And then, I would have to stop myself and I would have to say, wait, I want friends. I want to do things socially. And if someone is inviting me to do stuff, why am I saying no? It's one evening out of my life. So what if I don't have fun? Just, give it a try. What else would I be doing? Sitting at home thinking about how I don't have any friends. Just, go to stuff. And I did. And it was fun. I met new people for the most part. It was a really good experience. So if you're looking for any advice to get to know people, that's what I would say. Just, try your best to put yourself into situations where you're going to meet more people. And when you do, ask them to do stuff. If you get invited to do something, just say yes. Just do it. It might be fun. And if it's not fun, who cares? You spent your whole life at meetings. That wasn't any fun. Whatever you're going to do with this worldly person is definitely going to be more fun than that. I remember thinking too, what am I going to talk about? These people aren't going to like me. I don't have as much experience as they do. I don't know what they're talking about when they're discussing politics or some type of pop culture reference that I wasn't allowed to pay attention to, or when people talked about being in college. Oh, that was the worst. I would just completely freeze up and just be like, please, please don't ask me what college I went to or what clubs I was in school, because I'm gonna have to either lie or come up with some lighthearted way of saying that I never did any of that. It just, I would worry myself about all these things that could happen. But for the most part, if you just go and you just relate to people as human beings, you're gonna have a good time. And eventually you're going to feel close enough to them that you can open up to them about the witness stuff. And that's sorry, my dog is barking at something. But that's when you're going to make real friends. The type of friends that are not just going to write you off when you don't believe something they do, or when your beliefs change. Real, normal people friendships, which is what you need. Another thing too, I think that's important, is to make friends with people that don't necessarily share all of your views. I mean, you should have standards for friends. Don't take it like I'm saying that you should just be friends with absolutely everyone. But, seek out friendships with people that you respect and enjoy their company. But you don't have to share all of their views, and you don't have to convince them to share your views either. I think it's really important to get out of that needing to evangelize to everyone mindset. I'm an atheist now, and I am the only one of my friends who calls themselves an atheist. I have agnostic friends, I have a Lutheran friend, I have a Methodist friend, I have a, just don't really know what I believe type of friend. If anything, it can be more enriching to have a conversation with people that don't necessarily share all of your views, that aren't, just yes people. Another thing that can be strange when you leave the witnesses. Basically, you spent your whole life not trusting the outside world. And then you find out that the world you lived in wasn't true. And everything you were taught about the world isn't true. And a lot of your relationships, they weren't really built on anything. These people that you called brothers were ready to just drop you, disown you at the drop of a hat. And that can really do massive things for your trust. It can be really easy to just sort of become hardened and not want to trust anyone ever again. When I was on the Vast Apostate Hour over the weekend, which was so much fun, I hope all of you guys tune into that in the future, because we talk about, some pretty intense, important topics, but Joel and Eric and Parker all do an amazing job of just making it a lot of fun too. So subscribe to that if you are not subscribed. But someone had made a comment taking issue with me trusting a friend that I had met from the ex-JW community, that I shouldn't have trusted them so much to let them come, visit me in real life. This is another thing that can be difficult when you come out of the witnesses. A lot of times the people that really understand you, the other ex-witnesses, probably good chance they don't live anywhere near you, so that can be kind of difficult. But one thing that we were taught that is damaging as a witness is not to trust our own judgment, that the answer should be given to us from the society, that, we're not even fit to direct our own step. The reality, though, is that most people have a pretty good radar. If, you've been talking to someone, there are multiple mediums for a good length of time. You've seen how they interact, with other people, with your friends, what your friends' thoughts are about them, things like that. There's no reason not to trust them. You can trust someone until they give you a reason not to. You don't have to just automatically think that the world is out to get you anymore. And that theory has worked pretty well for me. I guess I feel sorry for people that can't do that, people that live their lives in sort of a bubble. Living in a bubble is very lonely. We lived in Watchtower Bubble, and I'm very glad to be out of that. So yeah, that's pretty much the thoughts I had on the topic. If you guys have any thoughts, anything that has worked for you, any helpful advice that you would like to give to anyone recently out of the witness list who is looking for that, please type it in the comments. I hope you guys are having a great night, and take care.